Hey, I'm Jeff the Junk Seller, and this presentation is going to be about the best buys that I made in November 2025. I really had a pretty spectacular month, and when I was thinking about a couple of the pieces, I ended up going back and looking at some other records, and I found out that I got quite a few more top shelf kind of items than I had previously thought. On November 11th, I was in Livingston, Texas, and I wound up in the restore of the Habitat for Humanity store, and I bought the Harding Black pitcher. That was a little over $27. I ended up turning that. That's got a $450 price tag on it now. And November 12th, I went to an estate sale in Liberty, Texas. I think it was on the 13th that I went back and I bought it. But there was a Preston Guild 1902 cup and saucer. And a buddy of mine looked that up on WorthPoint. And we found out that it was worth $294.40 is what it sold for in October the 20th of 2014. The only comp that we could find on that. And I paid $5 for that at that estate sale. I bought about $70 worth of stuff. I haven't sold any of the stuff that I bought in that group, but that cup has been backstocked for a later better sale. But I wound up out at Shreveport. A friend of mine sent me some pictures from a warehouse sale that she was at, liquidation sale, and they had a couple of flat boxes of watches and jewelry. And I spotted a couple of railroad watches, and one of them was a Hamilton. I think it was a 17 jewel or 21 jewel, but it was a 992 railroad watch. And she was able to buy the whole thing for for $50. I got that. The Hamilton is not in great shape. It has it's got a crystal missing. It needs to be serviced. There looks like there might be some light rust on a couple of components. It may only be a parts watch, but even as a parts watch, they're $200 to $300 for a Hamilton 992. The face is the dial is absolutely fantastic on it. But and then on the 30th, I got the Boeing patch, for the World War II Wichita plant, and that came out of a storage unit. And the guy took it to the flea market. I wound up paying him $10 for it, and a buddy of mine that got me the WorthPoint prices on the Preston Guild Cup got me WorthPoint comps on the patch. And in March 26th of 2024, an example like that sold for $200. And in 2023, one sold for $450. And I think that it's kind of funny that I guessed that it should be $200 to $300. I'm going to average the prices and put a $325 price tag on it and hold until I get $300 on it. But I had a couple of other bits of news about two other pieces that I've had for a long time. One of them being the K&R, the brown baby that the guy that I bought it from, he brought me the book showing that it was a very, very rare doll, and I bought that from him in February 2025 and just put it in a file cabinet, and that's probably a $1,500 doll. And then I also learned about a Chester Nimitz letter that I had. A friend of mine had bought a storage unit in Palestine, Texas, and I made him a lot of money out of that unit, but he sold me the balance of everything. I think I paid him $2,350 for a whole bunch of stuff. And in that came this Chester Nimitz letter. And the last payment that I made to him was August the 5th of 2024, and I got that in Canton. But on the composite, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 top shelf items that I was able to score in November. And I just really had an incredible month. And I think that I'm going to start doing a summary every month just to show people who might be looking at starting a career in this business what a fantastic month is, what an average month is, and what a not so good month is. Last month, I think I only scored two really decent pieces, but that, I mean, two fantastic pieces is still a pretty good month. But no, I think that it's just it's pretty instructive to show how, you know, a lot of people could misinterpret what I have to say about this as arrogance, but I really just stumble around. I stumble into this stuff, and a lot of times I don't know the value of anything until I get it. You know, I'm pretty good at guessing. I haven't had a whole bunch of. I didn't make any really bad decisions this month. I made one decision that was regrettable. I bought a silver brush, but and I paid more for it than I'll be able to get out of it. But you know, one mistake, but 6 great finds, 6 great discoveries. That's a pretty good record. But if you've enjoyed this presentation, then please give it a like. If you have, then please view some of my other presentations. And if you enjoy those as well, then please subscribe. But thank you for viewing.